Okay, welcome all types of members, whatever members are out there between 405th members and Soren Hammer members. Besides looking at my big cluttered area of Blue Suit and Adam right here, it's like calling that's Adam right there. Oh, bad. Okay, so I don't know who that is, but between looking around at all this freaking stuff sitting around, if you want to want all the Blue Suits in here, Blue Suit's getting retired. It's going to get retired. It's going to go on Adam here, and I'm actually going to utilize my pressure suit, and he will wear it, and he'll be in here. So he'll have all the thighs and all that good stuff on him. Anyway, so it's going to get retired because the Blue Suit project has begun, along with the T51 project we're about to begin, and they'll be finished next few months. But anyway, anywho. Today's video is going to be for some members who had kind of a question on molding, ideally shins and gauntlets. And I'm going to pause this and I'm going to set the camera here. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible, and I'm really hoping you can understand it. I do not have a full visual for you all to see on this, so you have to use your imagination a little bit. You can utilize 110 card stock. You can utilize popsicle sticks. You can utilize oil-based clay. You can utilize cardboard. All right. What you're going to do, and I'm going to use other people's products to show you. This is not about recasting. This is about doing your own personal initial mold. All right. But I'm going to utilize other people's stuff to show you what I'm talking about. Alright. With Adam's gauntlet here, let's just say you want to do this gauntlet. And that is primarily what the question was about, how to mold the gauntlet. The first thing you're going to do is take a piece of any type of flat, hard surface that will not bleed through. And you're going to create a closing point right here. Why on this end? Because it's flat. Unlike this end, which is not flat. Tracking? Good. Block off the bottom. Okay? Similar to that. So that's blocked off. So, this is Adam's also. It's the shoulder. You're going to block it off. You're going to put the cardboard from the inside. And then hot glue all along the inside edge. So that way your real edge is still untouched and unedited by the hot glue when you create your rubber mold. Now, what I was referring to as far as going past your edge. Everybody knows that people try to bring your plastic to the edge, but you're always afraid of pouring over the edge. So you get just to the edge a little bit, and then you stop. So what does that do? That creates very thin edges. And very thin edges chip and break, and it's no good. So, build up past that edge, so you go to that new edge, which can stay thin because everything behind it, once you Dremel it down, is thick. So, from the inside, from the inside, you're going to build up with either clay or cardboard coming outward. Give you an example of what that would look like. I'm trying to do this real fast. Take your paper, put it in there. Hot glue from the inside. That now extended, when you do your mold, alright? Let's do this. When you do your mold now, the rubber will cover all the way up to here. You will pour the rubber. You have this closed off, so it's going to be sitting like this when you put your rubber on because it's closed off. Pour your rubber on, brush it on. It's going to pour it all down. Go down all the way to the edge of this paper now. So now and then when you put your shell on, your shell's going to go all the way down to that point as well. So that way when you're casting, you're going to take it all the way to this edge right here. Now you pull your rubber off, and you look at it, it's going to look like this, but a lot of extra flash. You break the flash off, or you Dremel it down to the appropriate edge, which is now thick because you overshot it by a lot. I hope you all understand what I'm going to be talking what I mean by that. Okay. Helmets, it's a similar technique. Let's say doing a box mold for something like this, right? You want to build up your edge outward. All along the surface of the item. So that way when you pour onto it, you have something to catch. So it's going to be out, and and you have another one coming up, an L shape. Okay, it's just an L shape, and that will catch all the rubber that's poured on and flows down from just going out and everywhere. Okay, so you're going to create a dam that's going to come like this. I hope you can all see that. Something similar to that kind of technique. Alright, so it catches all that rotor. That's another technique for unflat surfaces. Flat surfaces too easy. It lays flat and you pour on top of it. You put it in a box, a cardboard box, or you super glue or hot glue 4 sides together, bead the edges with the hot glue so it doesn't leak through, put it flat, it's a flat surface, and I don't have one sitting here, but you put your flat surface in and you just pour on top. There's nothing, like when you pour in on this, it's not flat, so it would go underneath. So you have to build your dam. You have to go underneath it, and that defeats the purpose. So it's a flat one, it won't, you just pour on top. Helmets, whenever I do my helmets, I tend to build one of 2 ways. One is with clay, we're going to do the busa, and take your natural edge of the helmet and go in further, probably about that far. So you have a small diameter right here where you're going to pour your plastic into. The only problem with that is it's hard to see inside your helmet. And then of course the weak edges will be on the inside and dremel down to the actual edge that you need being strong. Another method I've seen Tim use, Tim Econ, and I used it for the Recon, was take a 110 cardstock and put it inside like this and hot gluing it and build the wall downward. So you keep, and that's why you saw my mold is so wide at the neck area. I actually put it still on my head because it was built downward. So that way when I overflow on purpose, so I can make sure I get this edge real good, when I overflow, it drips down the new wall. And it actually won't pour out. It's good overflow. That's what creates an overflow. So those are a couple methods you can all use. Make sure you use clay for all your cutbacks. Anything that goes far deep on an angle, inward and then back out, or just inward, use clay to kind of pack that in and make it more a slope. Not as deep, and it does go in and then back out. You just gotta be careful with stuff like that, because what's going to happen is the rubber will go in just fine, but every time you do a cast and you pull out, it's going to want to fish hook it. It's going to want to pull that rubber out with it, and it will start ripping your mold. Take your time in your mold. First coat very thin. If you get any air bubbles, that air bubble's got a potential to get a little tiny pinhole in it. If that pinhole gets in it, plastic goes in, hardens. You pull it out, you got a hole this big, but now you got plastic behind it this big. When you pull out, it's going to rip that hole even bigger, bigger and bigger, 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 bigger. Each time you make a cast, that hole's going to get bigger, and your mold is shot. So take that time on that initial, all the way up to the 3rd coat. Try to prevent any air bubbles. Do not use any filler for helmets. Only for, learn from experience, only for the box molds. Okay? I hope this helps out a little bit. If anyone needs any more advice on the techniques, please let me know. I will try, I'm doing the Recon again of version 3 this weekend. I'm going to try to allow some time to actually show you all what I'm talking about in person. I have a video I'm about to post right now with a little bit of me doing my work. It's a mess up work because I use filler in the brow. Bad idea. Alright, I have to go from 405th and soldering hammer, and remember, if I can do it, so can you. Right, Joe?